Listen to this podcast now
on the Red Apple Podcast Network. The Leadership Thread with Dr. Peggy Polonis.
I'm Dr. Peggy Polonis. Join me on each episode where I unravel the story that shaped leaders, tracing the thread that led them where they are today. Because leadership isn't born in adulthood. And thank you once again for joining us on the Leadership Thread, education, ethics, and sustainability.
Download all of Red Apple Media's podcasts right now through your favorite podcast platform.
When you need to build up your team to handle the growing chaos at work, use Indeed Sponsored Jobs. It gives your job post the boost it needs to be seen and helps reach people with the right skills, certifications, and more. Spend less time searching and more time actually interviewing candidates who check all your boxes. Listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. That's Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Need a hiring hero? This is a job for Indeed Sponsored Jobs.
The More Money Show with Steve Moore on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
We're back, folks. This is the More Money Show. Thank you so much for joining in on this Mother's Day weekend. We are live. We are in color. And speaking of color, my next guest has been a friend of mine for, 25 years or so, maybe longer. The older I get, the harder it is for me to remember sequences of things. But I used to go on Brian Sussman's national radio show, which was hosted at KSFO in California. I think we did that show for about 10 years together. I was a guest of his on that show, and Brian really was the king of talk radio, especially on the West Coast. He has a new book out, by the way, called Climate Cult, and it's one of the many reasons I wanted to bring him on the show. So, Brian, it's great to be with you. Thanks for joining.
And it is great to be back on WABC. I used to be Mark Levin's regular fill-in for years, so I'm familiar with this audience. And WABC, this is the last great radio station in America.
I know. I mean, I don't know. We have about 50 affiliates throughout the country. I'm not sure if KSFO picks us up, but we used to have so much fun on your show. I mean, we just had so much fun. We were funny and had so many times. How long did you do that show, by the way?
I was doing that for 20 years, the morning show, and you were our guest for at least 10 years. And I think even before I was on the morning show, you were my guest in the evening show. So, yes, we've been doing our thing together for so long. But, Steve, I was listening to your opening segment, and you were talking about the economy, which is what you do, but you were talking about gas prices. So, this kind of melds into my book, Climate Cult. By the way, I am a certified meteorologist besides a regular talk show host.
Oh, my gosh, I didn't know that about you. Okay.
Yeah, so that's my background. I have a master's in meteorology, but here's the thing, Steve. Gas prices right now in the San Francisco Bay Area, gasoline is over $7 a gallon.
Oh my God, $7?
So I've seen as high as $9.
Oh my God. Oh my God. By the way, nationally, Brian, the national price is about $4.25. So that means people in California are paying over $2 a gallon more than the national average.
Yes, and it's because California is involved in this cockamamie witch hunt on a naturally occurring variable trace gas in our atmosphere that's necessary for life. It's called carbon dioxide.
Right.
And so when you look at the gas prices, first of all, we have the highest taxation on gas in the nation.
Yes.
Plus, there's a 50-cent a gallon environmental fee that everybody pays when they buy gasoline. But the other thing nobody knows about, Steve, we have a special blend of gas in California that can only be refined in Texas. So in other words, every gallon of gas that's pumped into a vehicle in California has to be shipped from Texas.
77 WABC and Bergen Newbridge Medical Center honor the life of legendary broadcaster and our friend, Ernie Anastas.
Hi, it's Ernie Anastas. You know, your thoughts can affect how you feel. Bergen Newbridge Medical Center is the largest hospital in New Jersey, providing comprehensive, equitable, compassionate, and high-quality emergency inpatient and outpatient medical care, plus mental health services and substance use disorder treatment. The Bergen Newbridge team can address your total health needs in one convenient location. Call 201-225-7130 for an appointment or newbridgehealth.org.
Where is Daredevil? I'm right here. Don't miss the return of Marvel Television's Daredevil Born Again.
So what's next?
I feel liberated.
We're gonna take this city back.
Over medication. all-new season, now streaming only on Disney+.
They're hunting us. It's time we started hunting them.
I can work with that.
This should be tons of fun.
Marvel Television's Daredevil, Born Again, now streaming only on Disney+.
But by the way, let me interrupt you for 1 second here. I mean, you're right. That's crazy. But what's even crazier? It doesn't actually come directly from Texas because of this stupid Jones Act rule with the shipping, they have to send the gas to the Caribbean and then send it from the Caribbean all the way to California because of these flagging requirements on U.S. ships. I can't even get into it, but there's another stupid regulation that makes gas more expensive.
Yes, exactly. I saw a blurb from UC Irvine this past week, University of California, Irvine. They were blaming the use of fossil fuels on global warming. And can I tell you something? In my book, Climate Cult, I talk about the fact that atmospheric temperatures on Earth have been much warmer and much colder than today. Right. But if you want hot temperatures, all we have to do is go back to the 1930s. I mean, places like Millsboro, Delaware, July 21st, 1930, 110 degrees. In Medicine Lake, Montana, on July 5th, 1937, 117 degrees. We've never seen temperatures like we did in the 1930s, and you can't blame any of that on fossil fuels. That's
what created the Dust Bowl era, where, so you're right. People don't know that was the hottest decade on record, and that happened before 90% of the carbon is put in the atmosphere.
Right. And then I talk, it's interesting in Climate Cult, I talk about all the woke socialist environmentalists. And I'm thinking of your mayor in New York City, Mondami.
Yeah.
What his followers won't tell you is the first person, now listen to this, Steve, this is amazing, it's in the book. The first person on record that I could find who was blaming capitalism and industrialism on future climate change that would destroy the planet, that guy was the writing partner of Karl Marx, Frederick Engels.
Jeez. Wow.
In the 1880s, he was talking about industrialization, capitalism causing global cooling.
Well, people forget that it was supposed to be global cooling, and then it was global warming, and then they couldn't figure out that. That's why they changed it to climate change, as you know, because that way, no matter what happens with the temperature, no matter whether there's rain or drought, or whether there's, hurricanes, or whether the temperature's hot or cold, whatever it is, it's global warming, and we have to take away capitalism, and we have to live poor to save the planet. That's essentially what they're saying.
Yes, that's right. And I really agree with your stance, Republicans vis-a-vis Democrats. But the thing that I love is we finally have a president in the White House.
Yes.
Who is just, he's taken global warming and global cooling and climate change just off the menu completely. And I so appreciate that about Donald
I do
Trump.
too. He really has. I couldn't agree with you more, Brian. I'm talking to Brian Sussman, who was the many, many years. Are you still doing talk radio? I know you do sometimes sub on shows and so on. Are you still are you still in front of the microphone?
I'm in front of the microphone. I have a podcast called Brian Sussman Show. I do some fill-in around the country, but my team for the morning show in San Francisco is disbanded. We're all doing other things now.
Where's Katie?
Yeah, we're all. Well, Kate. Okay, so Katie's she's with another program. I don't think it's on WABC, so I'm not going to mention the name of it. And then Sherry got a real job, so she's actually making real money now. So it's great.
Yeah. Okay. By the way, what I remember about Katie was when she'd do the traffic report, and she said, "There's a lot of Debras on the road. Debras, Debris, Debras." And I just got a kick out of that.
Okay, but Steve, you were mentioning AI. I love what you were saying in your opening segment about AI, and I'm concerned about these robots taking over life, and I know you're going to be talking about that in a future segment. But the thing that I also love about Donald Trump is the fact that he's, we're not investing crazy amounts of money now on these renewable energy sources, which in some cases are just so inefficient.
Right. No, thank God he's doing that. And by the way, Brian, we're up against a heartbreak. I'd love to have you on more regularly. It's great to hear your voice. I know my audience appreciates your book. It's called Climate Cult, and we want to have you on as a regular because I always have so much fun with you, and we learn a lot from you, Brian. So thanks for coming on. This is the More Money Show. We have a hard break. We will be back in about 2 minutes, folks.
Thanks for listening to More Money with Steve Moore. You can hear More Money with Steve Moore Saturday afternoons at 1. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?
Roger Stone here. Every day you wait, your money loses value, but gold and silver don't follow those same rules. American Sovereign Bullion gives you access to a nationwide wholesaler network, helping you secure aggressive pricing on real physical metals. Call 844-272-2428 now to get your free gold and silver guide to learn how to protect your wealth with physical gold and silver, delivered right to your door or with a gold IRA. Visit ASBgold.com. That's ASBgold.com for your free gold and silver guide today.